Trainer's here.
It's trying.
Good job, Deb.
Yep.
Got everybody? It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to call the fourth meeting of the 181st year of the Waukesha County Board of Supervisors to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, followed by a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Supervisor Teamy is absent. 24 supervisors are present.
Thank you.
Wait, 23.
Do we have any public comment? Sarah? Okay, we have none. Any announcements? Supervisors, any supervisors have any announcements? Any county clerk?
I'm sorry, it's 23.
Okay,
I can't do that.
It should be 24.
it should be 24. It includes me because there's 25 total with one gun.
Yes, oh, so it is 24.
Yep.
Okay, that is 24.
Any announcements on the county clerk, from the county clerk?
All ordinances and resolutions from the June 23rd and July 10th meetings were signed by the acting county executive.
Okay, great. And that would be me. So, yeah, yeah, that was one of my tougher assignments.
And also there were 11 claims submitted to the county in June, which is part of
Yeah,
the
you would have gotten that in your packet. There's 11 claims that were submitted, and you've got that back page of your packet. So, thank you, Madam Clerk. The minutes we received have some technical corrections. I want to give credit where credit due. Eagle Eye Supervisor Donlinger pointed out that there was, I think, instead of not, there was supposed to be none or something like that, and we also missed a period. So there were some technical corrections. Are there anybody who want to make a motion on the minutes?
Are we motioning for both of them or just one at a time?
Both. Unless I have an objection, I make a motion for both of them. Okay, Supervisor Wayne got a motion, and Supervisor Johnson. Supervisor Johnson, you get the second.
Who made the motion?
Euclid.
What, Supervisor Euclid from Oconomowoc area. So. All right. Any other corrections made? Yes, Tim.
Not me, I'm the second. It's Johnson.
Second is Johnson.
D25.
D25's out of order for some reason. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
After it comes out.
Oh my gosh, I'm so used to, I just, right where I
I
usually go.
appreciated you moved me up the ladder, but
Oh, that's why
I don't
I
mind
saw
being
24.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my first meeting.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any other corrections to the minutes, either set of minutes? See none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. All right. So the votes needed, so let's see, I got Wayne, and Johnson. Votes needed for tonight, ordinances 29, 31, 32 require 17 votes. All three of them are currently in the consent agenda. Therefore, if you remove them from the consent agenda, it would require 17 votes. And if you do not remove all three of them from the consent agenda will require 17 votes. Okay? So, first item on the agenda is resolution 181R005. Madam Clerk, can you please read that item? Resolution.
Honoring the life and public service of Paul Francis Farrell.
Okay. It's moved by Supervisor Hammett.
I'd like to move resolution 181R005.
Thank you, Supervisor Hammett. Seconded by Supervisor Howard. Okay. Supervisor Hammett, did you want to make a few comments? Do you request to speak?
Yes, I guess we're gonna, acting Chairman Heinrich, would you like to come to, switch places here so you can?
Sure.
We're gonna do we're doing the resolution first.
We're doing the resolution.
Correct.
Not
Do I
the,
need to move?
not the appointment. That's what I
Correct.
read.
Correct. Honoring the life
Yes.
service.
We're doing the resolution first, not the appointment.
We're doing the resolution first, which is honoring County Exec Farrell. And because, for those that don't know, as chair, I will be making comments later, so we're making the transition now so that I can make comments concerning the resolution.
At this time, I guess I'd like to call on acting county exec Heinrich, if you would, please.
Okay, what I've been doing, and what I'll be doing today, for anybody who wants to speak, I've got permission then from, I'm giving permission to the supervisors. If they prefer to speak from the podium today, they have permission to do that if they request to speak. It's not generally something that we do because the parliamentary procedure is that we speak to the chairman. But tonight, I think on both these particular issues, both the appointment and the resolution, we will be sharing things with our fellow supervisors. And I know that Supervisor Hammett does want to speak later. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to open it up to Supervisor Hammett. So right now, I'm going to let you know I'm opening it up. But I'm up here just to make a few comments about Executive Farrell. I think that I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I'll cut you a little slack. It's about 9,000 degrees in here. And I just want to let you know that my first interaction with Paul was when Rockus essentially appointed him. And I'm saying, okay, here's a guy, state legislator, state senator, bring great things to the table as an executive. And he did. But that wasn't Paul Farrell. All of us who've known Paul Farrell over these years recognize that there was a lot more to Paul Farrell than what he brought to the table. The guy was a guy that he just drew you in. I kind of equate him to an educator. He's somebody that listened and then spoke. He listened to what you said, and when he spoke, you learned. So he was very valuable to me. I think another thing that really worked well for me, the communication between the county board and the county exec. I think those of you that have been here, even Tom and Peter, who have been here the longest, recognize the importance of communication between two different branches of government. And Paul Farrell was one of those that was a great communicator. He, right off the get-go, he says, Jim, as chair of the finance committee, I want you to be part of the budget process as I'm developing my budget. And it wasn't just that I'm sitting there, on the chair and listening to what he has to say. He wanted my input, which I think is great. And so consequently, as we go through the budget process, and we are just starting that now, part of that is because Paul Farrell, continued that, and again, it's great communication between the two different branches of government. Paul meant an awful lot to all of us, I think, and this is a big loss for us. And like I said, I don't want to continue on. I just the accolades that he deserves. In fact, there was something that just came out today. I forget who was put out by WIS-I, I believe, or Wisconsin I. You supervisors should all go to Wisconsin I and look at that video because it does such a great job encapsulating Paul Farrell's political part of his life, and that's what I saw. I don't know his personal life. I don't know, how he grew up and his brothers and sisters. But I think as a politician and as a person, since I knew him when he came on board, I've been very, very blessed to know the guy, and I know I will miss him. I know you all will miss him, and words can't explain what he brought for Waukesha County, which was something that was very dear to him. So I'm done with my talking, Chairman. What I will do now is I will read the resolution. You have it, but I want those that tune in to to us via our audio to hear the words that we have to say about Executive Farrell. So I'll read this resolution. You can follow with me if you'd like. If not, you can just listen to me. So Resolution 181R005, honoring the life and public service of Paul Francis Farrell. Whereas Paul Francis Farrell was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to John and Margaret Farrell in July 17, 1964, and with his 4 brothers grew up in Elm Grove, living almost his entire life in Waukesha County. And whereas Paul graduated from Marquette University High School, attended the University of Wisconsin Waukesha, and earned his degrees from both Waukesha County Technical College and Carroll University. And whereas Paul, in 1984, met the love of his life, Amy, and went on to get married, form a family, and enjoy nearly 40 wonderful years together with their 2 children, daughters-in-law, and grandchildren. And whereas Paul was elected and served in both the Wisconsin State Assembly and the Wisconsin State Senate, where he was elected Assistant Majority Leader, and whereas Paul was elected Waukesha County Executive in 2015 and re-elected in 2019 and 2023, and whereas Paul ensured that Waukesha County remained a low-tax leader in the state of Wisconsin by reducing the county's tax rate each year he was in office, and whereas Paul was integral in maintaining Waukesha County's excellent reputation as a regional economic leader with the creation of the Waukesha County Center for Growth and the Grow Fund to help business expand and create jobs. And whereas Paul prioritized keeping residents safe and secure by supporting the building of the county's courts tower and the remodeling of the 1959 courthouse into a modern justice center. And whereas Paul was awarded the Thomas G. Thompson Distinguished Public Leadership Award, recognizing the Wisconsin leaders who have devoted themselves to public service. And whereas Paul led Waukesha County with an infectious passion, unique sense of humor, timeless enthusiasm, and deep appreciation for the service of others to this community until the time of his passing on July 7th, 2026, after courageously fighting a public battle with a rare form of cancer. Now, therefore, the County Board of Supervisors of the County of Waukesha resolves that the members of this body join in honoring the life and public service of Paul Francis Farrell and extend their condolences to his family and friends. Be it further resolved, the clerk is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution to Mrs. Amy Farrell of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. So that's the resolution that we will be voting on shortly. Hopefully, we have a number of people that are listening to this, as well as our audience members here to listen to the great words that we have. And again, we can continue on, but I think this resolution is a great tribute to Executive Farrell. So I'll stop here and I'll go up to my spot up in the dais there. First Chair Hammett can be excused, and I will continue with the meeting. So I have two people that have requested to speak. First one will be Supervisor Johnson. Supervisor Johnson, did you want to speak from your desk, or did you want to come up to the podium? Okay. Well, I think most people heard me. What I'll do is I'll bring the microphone. Corporate Counsel will bring the microphone to the podium for you.
Thank you. Executive Paul Farrow was a blessing to me and to all who knew him. He touched our lives and was a great leader for Waukesha County and our board. My deepest sympathies, especially to Amy, to Paul Farrow's family, to all the friends and all of our associates here. And this is a very emotional time for all of us. And all our love, thanks, and we miss you. And rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Johnson. Next person that would like to speak is Supervisor Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow supervisors. Excuse my funny glasses. I'm waiting for my new prescription after having cataract surgery. A friend of mine, Kristen Hansen, runs this independent political and civic organization, Blue Sky, Waukesha County. And after Paul's passing, she asked me to write something for an email which went out to their large email list, and I'd like to share the short paragraph that she wrote, as well as the 3 short paragraphs that I wrote. The email was entitled Remembering Paul Farrow. Kristen wrote, Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow died last week. He was only 61. Farrow was a good leader for this county and just an all-around decent guy. When I first started Blue Sky Waukesha, I called him. He was running for re-election and had an opponent, and I wanted to talk to him before endorsing him. We had a long talk, and he was happy to have our support. I hope that whoever's elected to replace him wants to serve and engage with all of us. Then here's the comments that I wrote. Waukesha County was fortunate to have the exceptional leadership of Paul Farrow, who worked collaboratively with the Waukesha County Board to pass 10 budgets that lowered the tax rate every year. And today, Waukesha County has the second lowest county tax rate in Wisconsin, as well as keeping our AAA bond rating, which also saves taxpayers money. He was also one of the first in the state to recognize the fentanyl crisis and help our Substance Use Action Coalition, formerly the Heroin Task Force, lead the way in distributing Narcan vending machines throughout the county, which has helped to lower our overdose deaths. Paul was an incredible role model in publicly sharing his battle with cancer, with his iconic sense of humor and the joy of life that always made everyone feel better. I feel lucky to have worked with Paul the last 11 years and will always value his friendship. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Nelson. Next request to speak is Supervisor Euclid.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my fellow supervisors. I just wanted to repeat what I spoke on at Village of Lac La Belle meeting 2 nights ago. Made sure they all knew of the sad news and said, you know, even though I only had a short time with County Executive Farrell, he had a big impact. I told him, you know, in the first 4 weeks after I was elected as county supervisor, I jumped in the water with him for Archie. I planted a tree with him at Retzer Nature Center. I cut a ribbon with him on Moreland Road opening, and I sat and watched the first naloxone videos that the HHS department did, and that was only in the first 4 weeks. You know, they say a way to measure a person's life is what is your impact, how have you affected people, and he had a tremendous impact and affected everyone. If we can find a replacement that has half his energy and is half as engaged, we'll be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Euclid. Supervisor Cormenos.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a supervisor representing Paul's hometown, his parents' old house is just down the street from my house. I felt it appropriate to say a couple things. Knew Paul for about 16 years, going back to his days in the legislature when I was just a young intern in the state capitol. And Paul was somebody who always took an interest in everybody. You didn't have to be the governor. You didn't have to be a fellow legislator. Just even as a meek, mild little intern, somebody who invested in me and continued to keep tabs on me throughout my life. And when the vacancy in District 8 formed a few years ago, you know, Paul was somebody that I talked to about that. But speaking to Paul's character, there's a little breakfast restaurant called The Crossings in Pewaukee, probably in Supervisor Howard's district. Sean knows this place. I've met Sean there for breakfast before, but that place meant a lot to Paul and the whole Farrell family. You'd frequently find Margaret and John there almost any given morning. And during COVID, when people were staying at home, I think the Farrell family single-handedly kept that place afloat, and we're ordering takeout, and we're, you know, pushing friends and family to order there because they cared about the livelihood of the woman, Tracy, who ran it and owned it at the time. And those are the small little things that so many of us that, you know, maybe work with Paul here in the courthouse don't know, but those are the types of things that the Farrell family, that's what they do for our community. So putting his public service aside, which so many people spoke to so eloquently and said hit all the high notes, I think the part I'm going to miss most about Paul is all of those really personal touches and all that personal outreach that Paul did in the community. So God rest his soul in peace.
Thank you, Supervisor. Next person requesting to speak is Supervisor Howard.
Thank you. I'm totally unprepared. I wasn't thinking of coming to speak, but I knew Paul back in the 90s when he had first graduated, and he was doing some government affairs work for the MBA, and what a fun guy. You could always have a good laugh with him. He always had a great side of his. And I remember for the Waukesha County Community Dental Clinic, he was roasted by his brother Peter. And was anybody there? Oh my gosh. Peter just really did a number on him, and he was very, very patient and had a great laugh about it. It was really fun. One of my favorite memories is him calling me because I never turned down an RFP. I've probably done more RFPs than any of you. And this was for Health and Human Services. And I said, yes, Paul, I'll do it, because another supervisor backed out. There were like 25 vendors. Oh my gosh. I go, thanks a lot, Paul. You know, it was kind of a crazy time, but I just want to say that I loved his humor. I know we all did. And I loved his faith. What a great man, and what a great loss for all of us. And I'm grateful for Tom Farley stepping up to take this position, because I couldn't imagine a better person to transition us. So say your prayers for the next person that comes. Nobody can fill his place, so thank you. I did for a second.
Okay, I don't see anybody else on my board that would like to speak. Is there anybody that hasn't notified me and would like to speak on this resolution or comments about the late executive? Well, I want to thank those supervisors that did step up with their personal as well as business anecdotes. I think it just indicates that Paul is more than just a politician. He's just a great guy too, and we've seen many different sides of him, and we'll miss him. So that being said, we've got a motion and a second for this resolution. Please vote. Board is closed. The resolution passed on a vote of 24-0. So, next item on the agenda is appointment 181A017. Madam Clerk.
Appointment of Thomas Farley as interim Waukesha County Executive.
Supervisor Hammond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my fellow supervisors. I move appointment 181A017.
Second by Supervisor Donlinger. Okay, is there anybody that would like to speak to this? Supervisor Hammond.
First off, unlike Supervisor Nelson, you can laugh all you want because they're just cheaters, so they don't last long. Okay, sorry. Okay, our goal with an interim county executive appointment is to ensure operational continuity, protect taxpayer resources, provide steady leadership for Waukesha County during this transition. Tom Farley is uniquely qualified to deliver on this. Tom has 31 years of experience in Waukesha County, including 25 years as Corp Counsel. He possesses institutional knowledge that is second to none. Tom has been a trusted legal advisor during every major transition in our modern history. Our original move to county exec model in 1991. Our interim executive period in 2005, and our 2015 leadership transfer. Tom is returning as a caretaker with no future campaign ambitions for the seat. His focus is entirely on supporting our department heads, maintaining fiscal discipline, and keeping our strategic priorities on track until voters choose our next executive in December. The executive committee reviewed this nomination on July 20th, and it passed unanimously. Now, I'd like to say one of my own. I've been very fortunate, and I said this on Monday at our executive meeting, to know Tom since I first got on the board in 2006. He had helped me with many things through some legal issues with the Janesville Road project, which some of us that have been on here long enough to know what that required. And he gave me so much guidance and direction, both getting off the board and then helping me when it came time to get back on the board. So me personally, I have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration, and I was quite shocked when Chairman Heinrich called me and said that Tom accepted to do this, as I explained to Tom. So on that, I ask all of you for your support in confirming Mr. Tom Farley tonight for the internship, or excuse me, for the interim county exec.
Thank you, Supervisor Hammond. I hope you were surprised in a good way. So, and indeed you were. Next person requested to speak is Supervisor Nelson. Sure, that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, fellow supervisors, I just wanted to share brief thoughts on this motion because I was unable to attend the executive committee meeting because I was representing us at the NACO annual conference. I had the honor of working with Tom Farley my first 4 years as a supervisor. He did an exemplary job as corporation counsel. I think he set a standard that gratefully Eric has followed. And I think I heard a lot of speculation and a lot of names about who should Chair Heinrich appoint. And when Chair Heinrich texted me with the news, I was very happy because, as I said, I think Tom is the perfect person to lead us through December. I want to commend Chair Heinrich for doing an excellent job of finding the right person, because I definitely heard some names that would not have been good. And I just wanted to say to Tom, I am looking forward to your first budget meeting that I'll be attending on Thursday, and I'm glad you're following in the example of our two previous county execs who have always included the chairs of the committees as part of the budget process. When I meet people from around the state and nationally, what we do here is more the exception than the rule. I think that's one of the reasons we've had good budgets, because they're not being proposed unilaterally, but they're collaborative with the chair of the board, the finance chair, and the rest of us that chair the committees. So I am an enthusiastic supporter of this appointment.
Thank you, Supervisor Nelson. I wasn't going to say anything because Chief of Staff Spaeth has disseminated all the information, what my thought process was on this appointment. It is my appointment, but it wasn't made alone. I appreciate the input that I got from supervisors, all the different names, and perhaps one or two who I should stay away from, which I thought was interesting. So I was given the privilege of acting as county exec for a couple weeks here, and got words of encouragement from my fellow supervisors here, which again, I truly appreciated. But again, it wasn't just me, it was the team of our chief of staff and chief of staff of, the executive, Sean Lundy and Sarah Spaeth, as well as my staff. And like I said, other supervisors with your encouragement. So I want to just take this time for the next minute I have is acting, well, probably less than that, acting executive, to thank you all for making this transition smooth. And that's what my whole intention was, find somebody who's very comfortable with the operations of Waukesha, budget savvy, and somebody that's not looking to remake the wheel, taking the initiatives that were started by Executive Farrell and continue continuing them on in a smooth manner. I don't know what December 15th brings, but the stuff that we can control, I think that we've got a good person in Tom Farley, and I'm more than happy to support him. And I will be voting for him, obviously, since this is my appointment. So hopefully you all are in agreement with him and showing support, because he's a great guy, a great pick, checks all the boxes I was looking for. So with that being said, I don't see anyone else that's requesting to speak. Anybody want to speak? Okay, seeing none. Got him. Johnson, Supervisor Johnson, thank you. That came up a little late.
Right from here, I just want to thank you for acting or interim, whatever, county exec. So I just want to. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Johnson. Okay, so I don't see anybody else that would like to speak. We do have a motion and a second on this appointment. Please vote. Board is closed. This appointment passed with a vote of 24 aye, 0 nay. So thank you very much, supervisors. I think we all made a great decision tonight. Overwhelming unanimous support by the county board. Hopefully, Tom, in the time that you spend with us, you know you have the support of the county board, and we'll do anything that we can to make your short tenure here as valuable and as enriching as possible and comfortable for you. So.
We'll all give you our cards.
Right. So at this time, then, we'll go to the rest of the agenda, which is, everything is on the consent agenda. Is there anything that any supervisor would like to pull off the consent agenda? Supervisor Euclid.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to pull off 181023.
1810, what's the last?
23.
22? 23? 23. Any other items on the consent agenda that anybody would like to pull off? Okay, what we will be doing now, we will be voting on the consent agenda minus ordinance 181023. That's what our task is now, voting on consent agenda minus ordinance 181023.
We don't have a motion and a second on these?
We do not. But I will entertain a motion. Supervisor Johnson made a motion for the consent agenda, second by Supervisor Howard.
Thank you.
Okay. Please vote. Board is closed. The items remaining on the consent agenda, which is consent agenda minus ordinance 023, passes on a vote of 24-0. So now we'll go to the ordinance which was pulled by Supervisor Euclid, 181023. Madam Clerk, can you please read that ordinance?
Authorize the execution of a quitclaim deed returning certain county-owned property to the village of Butler.
Supervisor Euclid, did you want to make a motion for that ordinance? Supervisor Meyer will make a motion for approval of ordinance 023. Seconded by Supervisor LaFontaine. Supervisor Euclid, did you like to speak on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just kind of an interesting ordinance, and I apologize in advance that I didn't bring this up at the committee meeting, but sometimes you don't think of everything when you hear it. I just want to make sure everybody on the board understands this ordinance. I mean, I have a couple concerns, and and I think I will vote against the ordinance. One, just because I'm worried about the precedence of us giving land to another community, just free of charge. Second thing is, we really didn't hear much at the committee meeting. You know, we asked like, what's the value of the land? We don't know. How big is the land? We don't know. How did this happen? We don't know. There was just a lot of questions about this ordinance, and we didn't get a lot of information. You know, to me, we are a lean, continuous improvement organization. Not only finding that this problem existed is great that we found it, but what's more important is we should be understanding the root cause of how did this happen, and have we made sure that it won't happen again? Because the details of this are basically, while it was county land, the village of Butler built buildings on county land. And I think we should also reach out to the village of Butler and say, you know, what's your planning commission doing? How do you build a building on somebody else's land and your planning commission doesn't request a certified survey map to make sure that you actually own it? So, I mean, there's just a lot of questions with this. I'm not disputing that we're gonna give them the land, but I'm more concerned about the process of how this happened. Are there more out there like this that we don't know about? And how do we make sure it does not happen in the future? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Euclid. Supervisor Meyer, would you like to speak?
Yes. Mr. Chair, fellow supervisors. In Land Use Committee, we discussed this ordinance fairly comprehensively with Director Rebecca Matano. And there was some information that was lacking from the Village of Butler on the property. The property was deeded over quite a few years ago. And in the process, more or less, the property, we lost track of it, if you will. The Village of Butler built structures on it, and in the process, the Parks Department communicated as much as they could to discuss what to do with this, as well as worked with corporate counsel to identify what's the best course of action. And the recommendation is to do a quick claim deed transfer to the Village of Butler to release any liabilities that we may have. So that is that's why I moved to encourage us to approve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Meyer. Supervisor LaFontaine.
Thank you. I represent Butler. It's part of my district. I just thought I would kind of summarize and simplify this kind of the way I look at it. Right. This is a piece of property that the Village of Butler gave to the County of Waukesha, correct? Right. Back in 1966. We lost track of it. We didn't know we had it. They didn't know that we owned it. They built some things on it. They're asking for it back. I see no problem with giving back something that we didn't know we had in the first place, to be a good municipal partner for the villages that are within our borders. And again, it's no loss to us because up until now, we didn't know we had it. So that's all. So I support this, and I would ask you all to support it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor LaFontaine. Supervisor Cole, your comment?
Yes. I tend to agree with Mr. Euclid. On some points, I'll be voting for it. And I guess what I would agree with Mr. Euclid is that I hope in the future, if we find other properties like this, there needs to be a lot better investigation and a lot more questions being it, because there was a lot of unanswered questions. But I understand what Mr. LaFontaine saying. It's probably fine, but I don't think this is a good policy moving forward. We need more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Cole. I have no other requests to speak. We have a motion and a second on ordinance 181-0023. Please vote. Board is closed. The ordinance passes on a vote of 22-2. Okay, at this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, August 25, 2026 at 7 PM or at the call of the county board chair. Moved by Supervisor Wolf, second by Supervisor Schrader. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? We're adjourned.